I am so going to play today because I have a new toy. I got this in the mail yesterday. This is one of those multi-function electric countertop cookers. You can use it as a pressure cooker or as a slow cooker. It's got a function for rice, one for yogurt. You can sear in it. Got a lot of different functions on it. And what I want to do today, I got to tell you, I got a deal on this too, because they normally sell for about $120. This particular model, I'll put the name of it down there for you. $120, but I got onto Amazon during one of their deal of the day specials. It was actually on Cyber Monday, $75. And I'm glad I ordered it in the morning because by the afternoon they were gone. So anyways, what I want to do today is I want to make split pea soup because I like split pea soup, but I've never made it. Up the freeway here, there's a famous restaurant, Buellton, Anderson's split pea soup. You see signs up and down the freeway for like 300 miles in a radius, 300 miles. Anyways, I want to make split pea soup today in my cooker. So let's make split pea soup. I need to dice up some vegetables. This is your common mirepoix, carrots, celery, and onion. And I should mention in the meantime that I'm heating my stock in a pan on the stove because it was cold from the refrigerator. If I throw hot stock in that cooking pot, it'll reduce the cooking time. So while I'm doing this, I might as well heat my stock. Okay, so I got plenty of work here to do to dice my vegetables. So there is my mirepoix. If you weren't counting in that last clip, I had 2 carrots. I had 3 stalks of celery because they were kind of small. I would normally use 2 if they were big. And of that onion, which was a medium-ish, medium-large onion, I used about 2/3 because I don't like a lot of onion in my soup. Now I'm going to chop up some fresh parsley. I have here 3-4 sprigs of fresh parsley. I'll pull the leaves off and chop that up really well. I'm going to take my lid off. It sings to you when you do. I'm going to press the saute button, which is down here. I'm going to put a little bit of cooking olive oil in there. A teaspoon or 2. Not much. That should be enough. And there it goes. And then I'm going to put my vegetables in there. And I'm going to saute these for about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. This is called sweating the vegetables. That'll release some of the flavor. My timer just went off. So while this is still hot, although it's cooling down, I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic that I'm crushing through a garlic press. Okay. And then I'm going to stir that in, press saute again, and cook that for about 1 minute. Here are my peas. What I have here is 1 pound of peas that I'm going to add. I turned off that saute function. I rinsed these. I picked through them to make sure there was nothing odd in there that I didn't want in my soup. Okay. And then what I have here is my stock that I've been heating on the stove. So this is hot. And this is 6 cups of vegetable stock. I think that's 1.4 liter. Yes, that is 6 cups is 1.4 liters of stock. And that's stock that I made yesterday. You can use store-bought stock if you want. Then I'm going to add my chopped parsley. I'm going to grind some black pepper in there. And then stir this briefly. Get that mixed in. And what I have here is 2 ham hocks. One is kind of large and one is kind of small. I'm going to push those down in, trying to get them under the liquid as best I can. I'm going to be using some fresh thyme that I cut from my little herb garden outside. Put that on top, and 2 bay leaves. Again, these are kind of small. You can use 1 if you have large ones. Put them on top. Okay, I'm ready to start cooking here. I'm going to put my lid back on. And then I think pressure is over here. Pressure cook. And then I have to set my time. And I'm going to pressure cook this for only 10 minutes. There's 10 minutes. Gonna wait for this to come up to pressure. I have my little, I'll move this forward for you so you can see it. There's a little thing over here. For one side, it releases pressure. The other side, it holds the pressure. So you make sure it's at the pressure setting so that it doesn't vent. You wait until there's a little floater valve here. It's not really a valve, it's an indicator. It'll pop up once it reaches full pressure. Once it reaches full pressure, then my timer will start counting down. One nice thing about a device like this is you don't have to baby it. When I use my regular pressure cooker on my stovetop, I have to come out every 5 minutes or so and make sure that it's still maintaining the right pressure. This, you don't have to deal with it. Set it, forget it. Walk away. It does its own monitoring. It'll maintain its pressure. And then when it starts beeping again, it'll beep 10 times. This model beeps 10 times when it's done, and then you let it depressurize. So it's counting down, or counting up rather. This is the time since this has stopped cooking. There's a little indicator right in the top, right about here, that tells me that it's still under pressure. So there's the little indicator right there that's still up, still under pressure. I could, if I wanted to, turn this thing. Right now it's set at sealing. I could turn it over to venting and release the pressure that's in there, but I'm perfectly fine with letting this depressurize naturally. This float valve pressure indicator went down, so I can open my pot now. I'm going to open this carefully because I'm sure a lot of steam is going to come out. There it is. All right. And now I should see there it is right there. I'm going to take the thyme out. I found my bay leaves, so those are out. I'm going to take my ham hocks out now. If I can get them out in one piece. They cook so well that they just kind of fall apart. And I'm going to set those in a bowl to cool. See, this is falling apart. One more piece of meat right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cool. And then I'm going to pick the meat off, and I'm going to put the meat, I'll cut it up, cube it up, and I'll put it back in the soup. But right now, I want to puree my soup. Some people like their split pea soup on the chunky side. They like those whole vegetables in there. But I'm going to puree this because I want my soup smooth. You can puree it in a food processor if you want, or a blender. I have one of these immersion blenders, so I'm going to use this. Okay, that's done. Separate that, put this in the sink. There's my soup. All right. I know that's going to need salt. I have these little tasting bowls that they're actually little dipping bowls, but I use them for tasting. Boy, this has got a nice consistency. And I did already stir in one good pinch of salt. Let's see if it needs more. Yeah, more salt. Another taste. And I think I'm going to find this done. Yes, that's good. Some people might want more salt, but I like to cook light with salt. There's the ham that I picked off of those ham hocks. And rather than cube it, I just shredded it up. It cooked so tender that it shredded up very easily. All right. It's a little too early maybe for lunch. I'm not sure. One clock says 11:02. The other says 12:02. Maybe one clock didn't do the time change when we went from daylight saving to standard. Whatever. I'm going to have a little bowl for myself and see how this tastes for lunch. Okay. Going to put a little bit in a bowl for myself. Maybe a little bit more. It looks so good. Okay, there's a nice bowl of soup for myself. I can taste this. It's still hot. Creamy smooth, a little bit thick. If you like your soup thin, you can add some more stock. Oh, that's good. That is really good. Still could use a little bit more salt, but it's better to add salt later, I think, because you can always add more. You can't take it out. That's good. All right, excuse me. I'm going to go enjoy my early lunch of split pea soup. To view the recipe and download a PDF version with step-by-step photographs, click the Jump to Recipe icon in the lower right corner or visit my website, mobilehomegourmet.com.